we'll give it a couple of minutes for the students to join in as well. All right. No, I think we'll get started. We'll let them join in as we go in. And this is also a recorded session, so we will also be able to pass it around for everybody to view later. Okay. All right. Well, so welcome everybody. And if you've ever had $1 million idea, while cramming for an exam, or you're stuck in a campus traffic, or just daydreaming with friends, today's session is literally on that, from idea to opportunity, which is validating your startup concept. It's where we bridge the gap between dreaming big and actually building something that people will want and need. This session is all about turning inspiration into real action. You'll learn the secrets that seasoned founders use to test their ideas, collect honest feedback, and make sure that their concepts are rock solid before investing months or all of their pocket money into a project. Imagine saving yourself tons of effort by quickly figuring out whether the world is as excited for your idea as you are. So bring your curiosity, your quirkiest and boldest ideas, and get ready to explore proven frameworks for validation. By the end of this session, you'll know how to move from that could be cool to this is something worth building, and start your entrepreneurial journey with confidence, creativity, and smart thinking for the real world. It is my pleasure to introduce Noor Fatma, co-founder of EasyOFI Solutions, a groundbreaking health tech startup at the forefront of AI-driven medical image analysis, especially for the rural and underserved communities in India. Noor's unique background bridges technology and healthcare innovation. She has presented EasyOFI's work before Prime Minister Narendra Modi, earning national recognition for making advanced diagnostics more accessible. Her expertise spans human in the loop AI models, regulatory compliant cloud imaging, and impactful collaborations with leading institutions like AIMS and Army Hospital R&R. Noor is a passionate advocate for building scalable, patient centric solutions that truly bring cutting edge healthcare closer to where it's needed most. Please join me in welcoming Noor to the session. Thank you so much, Noor, for joining us today, and over to you.
Thank you, Sadhanya, for the wonderful introduction. And I'm glad I can, whatever I have learned in my journey as an entrepreneur, I am able to share on this platform. I'm so glad for the opportunity. And I'm very passionate about telling those stories which have helped us. And I want the other people who are starting right now not make the same mistakes as we did, and build multi-million dollar unicorns in India, outside India, everywhere, and succeed. So this is my small contribution. People have contributed to my journey through mentorship, and now I'm there giving it back. So yes, we can start right now, and I'll be glad to share the journey as well as answer any questions for the audience.
Sure, you can go ahead and bring up your screen now. I will keep an eye out on the chat box for any questions that might come up, and I will bring that to your attention.
Uh, yeah. So shall we start? Yeah. So hi everyone. Um, today's session would focus upon validating your startup concept. So whenever we get an idea, we are very excited about it. That idea comes from a personal learning, or maybe from certain problems which you have faced, and having an entrepreneurial mind, and you want to build, as engineers, as non-engineers, you want to build something, give it back to the world, and you think that this is a very good idea to work on and bring a product out of it and take it to the market. And you're so passionate that you start working on it, and you think for the first few days, yes, this is the right idea, and you go all in. But then validating that idea is also very important. Are the people, are you built, is this problem strong enough that people are ready to pay for it, so that you can also earn and you can also give it back. So that is the first step in starting an entrepreneurship journey and building a product or starting a company. That validating the idea is very important. You get so many ideas. Even through the course of our entrepreneurship journey, we got so many ideas, but we had to drop certain ideas and focus on some, because validating your idea is also very important, so that you can focus on one good idea which you can give your time to, energy to, as well as money to, and then build something unique out of it. So you have, the main concept is transforming that idea into viable business opportunity, and that has it involves certain systematic validation and real world testing. So before you build a full-fledged product, it is very important that you validate that idea, talk to the customers, talk to the people you are building for, see if that idea resonates with them, if that is the actual problem they see through. Sometimes what happens is, when you go to and talk to the customers, sometimes you understand that that idea is not important, and you have been misled. And the second thing happens, that you pivot it, that you change a little and then go to the market. So these things are very important, so that you do not waste your time and energy on anything which is not worth building. Now, why most startup fails? Do you know that 90% of the startups fail within the first year? That is the hard truth. So within the first year itself, uh, when you start, you are so passionate about it, you are all into it, but within the first year you understand, and that it is not going to work, and 90% of the startups, they close their doors that time. 70% of the startups fail because they built something that nobody wanted. They built something in their boardroom, in their labs, which nobody wanted actually. They thought that this was a good idea. Maybe it was a problem, but it could be a temporary problem, or a problem which only a few go through, or it could be a personal problem also. So then they build a product out of it, and then when they go to the market, they understand that there is no need for that. Sorry. And so they have to build it. There is average $50 of average dollars of loss. So when you are building something, even if you are not spending money on it, but you are spending your time, and that is also money. So that is also valuable. So, and the harsh truth is that most entrepreneurs and founders, they are so passionate, and they skip validation and build something for the problems that either do not exist, or for that the customers do not pay. So it could be a good to have solution, but the customer is not ready to pay for it. So now bigger unicorns like Dropbox, Airbnb, Uber, etc. They started validating the idea before building the full-fledged product. Now, what we see Uber right now or what we see Dropbox right now, it was not that the same from day one. So for Dropbox, you Huston created a simple video demo before building the product. So before building your product, you build something which is called a MVP, minimum viable product, which is a small part of your product and it has the features which can actually validate the thing which you are building. Airbnb started by renting air mattresses. Uber, it started on WhatsApp or maybe an Excel, wherein they used to drop messages and then book rides, free rides. And now it has transformed into such a big unicorn. And that was the time when they were validating it. Flipkart, they validated their idea by standing outside bookstores in Delhi. So I also used to buy books. That was 2005 2006, and it's a real story. Flipkart people would used to stand outside bookstores in Noida, and they were validating. So they started with books, and then they moved to other, and now they have become a unit. So that is how we know that validating your idea is very important. Our personal story also. So while we were building in health tech, and in health tech, talking to the doctors is very important. And what we did right was we built a very small MVP, very small MVP. We built it was a 3D model, segmentation, etc. So what we do is we build 3D models of the anatomy so that the surgery can be planned easily, other treatment options can be planned easily. So we built a small model of it and we took it to the doctors to validate it if it makes sense or not. And that was the right. And then things came up and we understood while talking to showing that MVP and talking to doctors, talking to clinicians, we understood that yes, a little pivot this side, a little change in the features, it would work. That the doctors, they do not have time, they cannot spend time on multiple clicks, so the solution should be that. So everything that has come around has come around because we validated the idea multiple times, and you do not validate it once, you keep on validating it. And right now also, the companies who are successful, they are validating their ideas, validating the changes which they are pushing, the features which they are giving on the app. They would validate it for a small period of time, and then they would decide if they would scale it or not. So that is the process of validation. So what do you do? What is the power of validation? You save resources. Number one, you avoid wasting months or years building the wrong thing. Validation, it is compared to the days and time you build on giving the product. Validation costs nothing. You uncover the hidden flaws. Sometimes we human beings, they are full of assumptions. We assume things and then we build things depending upon that. So when we are talking to people, we are and validating our idea, we are getting different perspectives which uncover hidden flaws. As founders, as passionate people, we are not able to see them. But when we get perspective of different people, we are able to see them and then pivot around those things. And it also builds confidence. When you have talked to your customer, that is the biggest confidence you have. And the customer has said, yes, this is the right idea I want to invest in. This solves my problem. So nothing is like that confidence. You can raise millions out of that confidence only because you have validated the idea. You know that your customer is ready to pay for it. It's just a matter of building the whole product and going to the customer. So that is the power of validation. Sorry. So there are various frameworks which are used for validating your idea. Number one is clarify your concept. So when you start validating your idea, before that, there are three things which should be very, very clear in your mind. Number one is problem statement. What is the problem you are solving? What exactly? And the problem statement should come in two or three sentences. It should not be more than that. If you are spending a lot of words on explaining your problem statement, that means there is some problem. You have to make the problem statement concise for your clarity as well as for the clarity of the customer. So what is exactly is the problem statement? What is the pain point that you are trying to solve? The second is the target customer. We call it customer persona. So who is your target? Actually, who is that you are targeting? and that has to be very specific. You cannot build for all 7 billion people in the world, or 1.5 billion people in India. You cannot build, you cannot assume that all 1.5 billion people in India will require your product. So you are not building for everyone initially. So certain products which are built for the masses, they also started with certain geographies. So there the market was also, they start with beachhead markets. They start with validation markets where they validate the idea. So the target customer is very specific, and you have to be very specific how that your target customer behaves. How does he take technology? How he builds things? How he goes about his daily life? Uh, and what is the behavior? What is the demography? The demography is also very important, and you have to be very specific on that. Then the problem solution. What is the solution you are proposing? What is the secret sauce? What is that exact one pain point which you are solving for your customer that nobody else is solving? So these three things are very important when you start validating your idea or building on an idea. So one is clarification of the concept. So it should be one pager concept which you build, and then you go to the market, come back, and then you modify your target problem statement, target customer, and propose solution as well. Challenge your assumptions. So I told you that as human beings, we are full of assumptions. So when you start validating your idea, you do a pre-market research. You have to start with null hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? Can anyone tell me what is null hypothesis? Anyone in the chat box, maybe, or I'll tell you. So for us, we started with null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is that you start with the hypothesis that the problem which you are solving doesn't exist, and then you work backwards to prove that wrong. So that is null hypothesis. So in our case, we started with a problem that enough manual people are available who can do the reading of the reports, etc. And then we started working backwards from that, and we had to prove that hypothesis wrong. And when we went and saw what was there in the market, what was the case in the hospitals, how people had to wait for so long to get the reports, how people were struggling with getting the reports. So, and that is how we proved our assumption, our null hypothesis wrong. So there are so many assumptions also. Customer assumptions. Do people actually experience the problem? How often are they experiencing, and how intense is the pain? Is the pain so intense that they will pay for it instantly, or is it just okay, they can do with it? The solution assumptions. Will your approach actually solve the problem? So a problem exists, and there could be so many approaches to solve it. But is there is your approach the right one? Are there simpler alternatives that the customer, maybe what you're building is too complex? Are there simpler alternatives which are present? And market assumptions also. Market plays a very important role in what you are building and how you market it. Are customers willing to pay? And if they are willing to pay, how much are they willing to pay, and when are they willing to pay? Uh, will they pay upfront, or will they pay in near future? What's the real market size? Then market size is also very important. How many people want to pay? So what is your target customer? When you get a target customer, then you have to find out how many people of that target customer want to pay for actually for your solution, and that comes your market size. And then also the competition. Who are so It is never the case that you are the only one solving that problem. There are competitors, and it is good to have competitors. So if somebody comes up to me and says that this is the one unique product and there is no competition, so either there is no problem that is existing, or the people are in denial, because there will be competitors. One problem, if the problem is so pertinent that a business could come out of it, there would be competition, and it is good for people to have competitions. But as entrepreneurs, it's also very important to understand your competition. Understand, I mean, you have to you have to be very precise about who your competitors are, how they are working, how they are targeting, um, and everything. So competitor analysis is also very important. Customer reach, that works. Now there are customers, but how would you reach them? Would you use digital marketing? Would you use Instagram, Facebook to target them, or you would go to exhibitions, events, and target your customers, or how would you reach them? So that is one strategy which you have to take care of. Now, when you are doing initial validation, you have to find 10, 20 people, 30 people, uh, and use your network, social media to contact them, and then conduct problem interviews. So you prepare an agenda, you prepare a list of questions for them. You go to them or you send a link to them. It's better if you go and talk to them face to face. Sending links is okay in case the customers are far, but it's always better to go and talk to the customer face to face so that you can understand their body language as well. Ask ask how they are doing this. Are they Don't tell them about your solution. When you're validating your problem, don't tell them what your solution is. You just ask for general questions regarding around the problem which you are solving. And what is most important is you have to listen more than talk. So try to talk to them so that they are telling you and you are understanding what you are, and then so that you can analyze later on. Uncover what they currently do to solve this problem. Right now, what they are using. Either they are using manual thing or they are using some people to help them. And then validate the solution fit. So in the first meeting, you understand what their problem is. And then you come back to the drawing board and mix and match those with the solution with the problem. And then you find a solution fit. And then plan a next meeting with them where you present your problem, where you present your solution, sorry, and a solution, and you also try to gauge the willingness to pay. So in the second interview, you should always try to understand if the person is ready to pay or not. Otherwise, you are wasting your time. And once you have done this, you have talked to your customer, you have found a solution fit, then you build a MVP. An MVP could be so many things. Like it could be a landing page wherein customers are coming and they are giving their interest. Otherwise, it could be a paper prototype wherein you sketch your app or service flow and test user experience. It could be a manually deliver your service to the customers to test the core value, like Uber was doing. It was manually delivering without the app. So without building the technology, it was validating their idea. And the other thing is learn and iterate. So it is said that build fast and fail fast and build fast. So you build something, go to the market, validate it, test it. Now, if it is not working, change it. And then again do the step. And in this process, in step or two or three, it's very good. It would be very good if you come to that validation in the first step itself. But in that process of two to three steps, you would come at a product market fit, which would be a PMF for you, and from where you can start building your full-fledged product. So so this process is also very important. Take a little time after validation of your idea. Take a little time to learn and iterate on your products. So you go there, come back, you build something, test it, something is not working, just change it again, do it. So and that do it on 10, 20 customers of yours. So that would help you come to a product market fit faster. So now I think we have come to the end. So now we have learned about validating our idea. Now the step is, if you are already working on your idea and you have already validated that idea, it's very good. Otherwise, pick your idea, try to write it in a clear single sentence, one or two sentences. List your assumptions as well. What are your assumptions regarding, and be brutally honest. Be honest about it. Because if you're honest in the beginning, you'll go a long way. Don't what we call in Gen Z language, delulu. So you should not be delulu about your idea or product. Then find your first customers. So find 10, 20 people who you think are the best fit for your solution. Talk to them, schedule conversations with them, meet them, see how they are working. Go in the environment where they work. For doctors, it's very important to see how they are working in a public hospital system. So a doctor is a different person altogether there. So and you are pushing your solution to be used at that point. So that is very important to understand your customer in their jungle, basically how they are working there. And then you build your sorry. Yeah. And so I prepared a list of free resources also. So there are templates, frameworks. It's a PDF. I have.
Maybe we can share it in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that.
If it's a link or if it's a PDF, we can maybe share it in the chat box so
Yeah,
students
so it's
can.
a link. It's a link.
Yeah.
I'll share in the chat box. Where do I get chat box now? Can you stop sharing it?
We can also take any questions now that anybody might have. So you can go ahead and drop that in the chat box as well. We can bring that up.
I'll just connect my charger as well. It's running low.
No worries. There we have some questions that have come in. How to kickstart the conversation with a new customer is one of them. What are some effective ways for students to validate their idea for startups, entrepreneurial ideas early in the journey, particularly when they have limited access to funding and industry networks?
Right. So kickstart the conversation. Yeah, so you can like find out. One second, I'll just put my
Sure,
charger
sure,
in the.
no worries. Yes, I will just keep an eye out for the questions as they come in.
I'm not in my office also right now. I'm at a different place.
It's completely understandable. Don't worry about it.
Not working. One second. We have some place where we can connect the charger. Okay. There it was not working actually. Yeah, it's working now. Yeah. Yeah. So how can we kickstart a conversation with a new
With a
customer?
new customer is the first question. Yes.
So there are various ways. Uh, so it depends. Like if you are building in a B2B sector or you are building with a in a B2C. So if direct people are your customers or companies are your customers. So if companies are your customers, then you would require certain references. You can start with LinkedIn for companies because the senior officers are there on the link on LinkedIn and they usually reply. The second step could be you find out certain people who are there senior in the company and then you look for references, some people who might know them, certain new connections, and then you can send them mails, cold mails, or sometimes a LinkedIn message would work. So that is the case with business people. For if you are building in a B2C sector, then it's fairly simple. You can, for example, in our sector, if someone is building for patients, if someone is building a technology which has to be sold to patients, they go at a public hospital, stand there maybe outside, and then they talk to the patients. They ask their questions there. They have a questionnaire. They fill it up. So that are a few ways to start conversations with customers, and everyone will not be ready to talk to you. So be ready for that. Don't be disheartened, but then you will get people who are ready to talk.
The other question was, what are some effective ways for students to validate their idea for startups, entrepreneurial journeys, or entrepreneurial ideas early in the journey, particularly when they have limited access to funding and industry network?
Okay, so first step is all the steps which I told you in the. So you build a one page canvas. There are certain in the link also. In this link also there are certain templates. For example, there is a lean canvas which you can fill, and you can talk to the people. And then there are mentors. So right now the startup, there are so many people who are ready to help startup. There are even investment companies who are ready to talk to student founders basically. And then in your college itself there would be an entrepreneurship cell. There would be people who would be ready to help you, so you can take help from there. Then platforms like Arise for You, they would put you in touch with people who can help you validate you. And there are so many hackathons going on, all the IITs, all there are so many startup events wherein hackathon is always going on, wherein you build on new ideas. So those are good ways to validate your idea. Hackathons are very good in that sense.
Great. And I think that's so far the questions that we have. Any other questions that we have, we can have it on the chat box, and Noor will be more than happy to answer them.
Right. I'm also available on LinkedIn, so you could connect with me. I am by the name of Noor Fatma uh, at Easiofy Solutions. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn also. I usually reply to LinkedIn chats, so I'll be happy to connect there also and help.
Well, to answer
So
Tilak's question, if you want industry networks, well, you have Noor here, who's there as an industry network, and to help
yeah,
you.
the best I can do. Yes.
Thank you, Noor. It means a lot. And I know that as students today, it's very daunting because having an idea in a world today where everybody has access to so much, it feels like we're all in that rat race and we're all competing for the next big thing. But just to know that you've got people backing you and you've also got people that you can rely on in terms of, hey, I have an idea, but can you hear me out? And I think that goes a long way. And I'm sure our students today are going to definitely appreciate that. Do we have any more questions? We have a few more minutes, so we can take any more questions that we might have. Noor, is there anything else that you would like to add as a closing remarks?
Uh, no, I would like to add that entrepreneurship journey is hard, but pretty exciting as well. So I have been in corporate, and suddenly I started my career with HCL Technologies. So
Oh
back
wow, it's a full circle then.
it's a full circle. Back in 2005, I joined HCL Tech as a fresher. I worked there for around 2 years before moving on to other jobs. So HCL is very close to my heart, and the culture there is very good. I still have people from HCL who are helping me.
I
So
think it's a
that has
privilege. I didn't know this. It's a privilege to have you join us today. I don't think we could have had a better setting.
yeah. It was. I mean, it was very appealing for me also to join as a like mentor here.
I'm really glad we could make this happen in that case. I don't think we have any more questions, but if you have a thought that you would want to leave our students with while we bring the session to a close. I'm also going to attribute it to the fact that this is lunch hour for our students. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I completely understand because, hey, in the
Yeah.
middle of a busy day, you're still taking the time to join us. I think we're really glad about that. Thank you,
Yes.
Noor. I think the repository of free resources that you've shared is also something that will be really, really beneficial for students. I had the chance to go over that as we were just discussing, and it all looks so great. If I had a starter kit like that, I think it would have made the world of a difference to me. But it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for all of your thoughts. And thank you for the time that you've taken to be with us today.
Thank you, Saranya. Thank you, everyone. Be
Thank
in
you so
touch.
much, Noor.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everybody.
Take care.
And
Bye.
keep your eyes out for our next session, which is as early as next week. And have a great weekend ahead. Thanks, Noor. I will connect with you offline as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye
good
bye.
day. Bye bye.